Hi there, and welcome to Monologues Matter. I'm Robert Bubon, professor of theater at Metro State University in Denver. Students ask me all the time to help them with their audition monologues. They realize how important the audition monologue is for getting the job or the part that they're auditioning for. The best way to do that is to deliver to the auditioners a focused, high energy, and confident monologue performance. So how do we accomplish this? Well, let's discuss the whole idea behind the monologue and why it's used so often in determining whether or not an actor should be hired or no. All right? Monologue's been around since the beginning of theater. It was made famous by William Shakespeare when he saw how his actors could better engage his audience when they spoke directly to them. The audience felt more a part of the performance. They felt included. They weren't just experiencing the scene, they were actually a part of it. In many Shakespeare soliloquies, the character actually asks the audience a question. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Or the most famous of all, to be or not to be? Now, the actor isn't really looking to the audience to provide an answer, but it makes the audience think that maybe there is one, maybe they should provide one, and it helps to engage them at a different level of engagement than just watching a scene take place. The performance of a monologue exposes the character and therefore the actor to the audience in a very personal way. It can jarringly break the fourth wall or provide the audience with some vital information about the character in order to better further the story in a more direct way, and also to give the actor a way in which to deliver some information that the audience will look at maybe differently if it's just him or her on stage. And trust me, the most fun I've ever had as an actor is delivering some of these incredibly well-written monologues to a very appreciative audience. All right, so the monologue is an important device used by playwrights in their creative process. But the skill to perform a monologue in a confident, energetic, and effective manner towards making it to the next level in the audition process is therefore a skill all actors need to possess. Now, some actors are better at this than others. And that's because, and this is very important to understand, the proper performance of an audition monologue requires a much greater sense of living within the imaginary circumstances of the scene that you have created rather than just acting in a multiple-person scene. I'll explain more of what this means later. First, though, a few general audition tips. First of all, when you're going to an audition, be flexible. I've been an active member of SAG-AFTRA now for 30 years. I've directed or acted in over 100 plays and musicals. And throughout my career, I've auditioned in lots of different places, from 100-seat theaters to tiny little office cubicles. You never know what you're going to encounter. Your agent might give you completely wrong information regarding where or how the audition is going to take place. So be open. Be open to everything. Some auditioners will intentionally mix things up to see if you are the amenable type or that if these changes will somehow affect you and to find out really if you're the kind of person they want to work with. I've even had auditioners make me prepare certain sides to read for the audition only to get there and have them tell me that those are the wrong sides and then hand me the correct sides and give me 30 seconds to prepare them. So be ready for everything and anything, and show the auditioners that you'll be happily to work under any certain circumstances that they provide. Now, the exception to this would be if you were ever put into a situation where you felt uncomfortable either sexually or no, and were asked to do something that might compromise your personal beliefs. It's always okay to say no under these and any circumstances and just walk away. You should also report these audition experiences to the appropriate union or authorities. Unfortunately, this kind of thing happens a lot. Shouldn't, not what we're about, but it does happen. So be careful of those kinds of circumstances. When you're going to an audition, be your better self. Learn to approach each audition with a positive attitude. Be someone that the auditioners would want to work with. Leave your personal problems and issues at the door. The life of a working actor is a difficult one. Everybody knows it. You got to learn to just let it all go before you enter the place where the audition is happening. Because remember, the first 15 seconds of your audition time is the most crucial. This includes you walking into the room and introducing yourself. Most auditioners can tell in that amount of time whether or not they're going to consider you for the job or not. So be your better self. And also have fun. Think of your audition as your opportunity to share this work of art with your auditioners. You're an artist. Be creative. Have fun doing it. Be authentic. Don't try to fake anything. Being your true self, it might not get you every job, but it'll always get you the right jobs. And keep in mind that this career is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Learn from the auditions that didn't go well and grow with each audition experience. No one gets every part every time. And you'll never really know the true reasons why they didn't choose you for the job. But if you do your best, act professionally, they might remember you next time. You never know. The only thing that you can truly control is you. And follow these steps, and you can rest easily knowing that you did all that you could. I used to think of auditions as a numbers game. I would typically go out 3 or 4 auditions per week. When I was getting called back 50% of the time and getting 10% of the jobs, I was doing well. I was making a living at that point. All right. Now, be confident, right? But this is a very misunderstood term. Confidence comes from 2 things: being properly prepared and knowing what you're doing. Confidence is not conceitedness or arrogance. It's simply feeling good about yourself, your preparation, and your objective. Confidence is not something you can fake. And believing in yourself is not necessarily the same thing. Confidence comes from hard work and experience. You need to believe in your abilities, but you'll be surprised at how much easier it is to have confidence and believe in yourself after you've properly prepared and know how to perform your monologue. All right, now, how do we do it? First off, start to think of your monologue as a scene and answer these questions for each monologue that you've chosen. All right? All right, first question. Who am I talking to? Find someone in your life, not the character's life, your own personal life, to speak your words to. It's now time for you to become an artist. Choose someone from your own life that it would make sense to speak this monologue to. Make it someone that you know well, like a parent or a child, a sibling, etc., aunt, uncle, right? Put or imagine that person directly above the heads of the auditioners. Never speak directly your monologue to your auditioners. Don't look at them while you're trying to speak these words. They don't want to be a part of your scene. They're there to assess your abilities, not play a role in your monologue. An artist uses their own life experiences to create their art. So, find someone from your life to talk to. All right? Now, next question. What do I want from this person? This is called your objective. We never speak to anyone unless we want something from them. Things like their approval, their forgiveness, understanding, or a desire to change them are some dramatically appropriate and popular things to want from others. Now, if you're finding it difficult to choose the person that you should be talking to, determining what you want from them with respect to the monologue and what it's all about might make it easier. The next question is, how am I going to get it? This is called the action. This is the thing that you actually play. The action should be the most important tool in your toolbox of acting skills. When you begin to perform your monologue, nothing else should be foremost on your mind. You don't play the objective or anything whatsoever to do with emotions. Concern yourself solely with the action, and your performance will be immediately authentic, honest, and real. Quite simply, this is how we live our lives. We literally go from one action to the next. We get out of bed in the morning, we brush our teeth, we drink our coffee, etc., etc. Acting must be active, so make it active. Focus exclusively on the action of the monologue, and it will make all of that happen. Now, for example, some common actions, but there are many, are setting somebody straight, seducing them, either sexually or not, convincing them of something, putting them down, or simply telling someone to go screw themselves. But most any action can be determined by an action verb. So find the one that best fits your monologue, and then play it. All right, now the next and final question. What's going to happen to me, not the character, but me personally, if I don't get it? Okay? Quickly review. What do I want? How am I going to get it? What's going to happen to me personally if I don't get it? This is what's known as the stakes. This is what's at stake for you living within the imaginary circumstances of your monologue. Again, be an artist. Use yourself. Find the things that scare you the most, the things that you want the most, the things that the people in your life that mean the most to you, etc., etc. These all help you create this kind of scenario. This is the element of any sort of performance that will make it truly dramatic and important. And if the stakes are created properly, any required emotional life will take care of itself. As an actor, you never play emotions. You never act emotions. If these 4 questions, if they're answered correctly and appropriately, the emotional responses will come all by themselves. You got to trust yourself and trust your process. And any and all emotions will be there automatically. So, experiment with all these different sorts of answers to these questions that we've gone through. You'll know when something clicks and feels right, and you'll know when it doesn't. But this is what your preparation should be all about. Trying different scenarios with respect to what you feel your monologue is all about is crucial for you to feel as though you're properly prepared. And believe me, any even remotely experienced auditioner is going to tell you right away, or is going to be able to tell from you right away, your own level of preparedness. Be ready for your auditions by spending the time it takes working on your monologues. The harder you work on your pieces, the more work you're going to get. Simple. The harder you work on your pieces, the more you will come off as being a real professional and someone anyone would want to work with. And that's what it's all about. All right? Remember, your monologues matter. Hi there. My name is Robert Bubon. I'll be doing a piece from Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I don't give a good goddamn if Big Daddy likes me or not. Or did, or never did, or will never. I am just appealing to your sense of common decency and fair play. Tell you all the truth, I've resented Big Daddy's partiality towards Brick since the goddamn day you were born, son. And the way that I was treated, like I was just barely good enough to spit on. Sometimes not even good enough for that. Now, Big Daddy is dying of cancer. And it's spreading throughout his whole body. And he's slowly sinking into uremia. And y'all know what uremia is, don't you? It's a poison of the whole system due to the body's failure to eliminate its own poisons. Now, I am just asking for a fair shake here. And by God, I do expect to get one. But if I don't, if there are any peculiar shenanigans going on around my back, well, I am not a corporate lawyer for nothing. I know how to protect my own interests. Thank you.